Hello, it's Nicko with Food Cravings from chefnicko.com, and today we're making pesto sauce. Pesto is a sauce originating in Genoa, which is located in the northern region of Italy. It originated around the 16th century and traditionally consists of crushed garlic, basil, and pine nuts blended with Parmesan cheese and olive oil. Pesto is thought to have two predecessors in ancient times, going back as far as the Roman age. Ancient Romans used to eat a similar paste called moretum or moretum, which was made by crushing garlic, salt, cheese, herbs, olive oil, and vinegar together. During the Middle Ages, a popular sauce in the Genoan cuisine was aliata, which was basically a mash of garlic and walnuts, as garlic was a staple of nutrition for Ligurians, especially for seafarers. When basil was lacking, marjoram or parsley was used in combination with Parmigiano cheese and mixed with pine nuts, then crushed together in a mortar with butter until reduced to a paste. But for this recipe, I decided to make what I call a very tasty pesto sauce, if not the best pesto sauce recipe that's very easy to make. I mean, this could even be called a pasta sauce recipe. And since many of you have asked me for a good pesto sauce recipe, I'm not only going to give you a good recipe for pesto sauce, I'm also going to teach you how to make it in a way that's easy, healthy, and very Italian. In my food processor, I've combined both parsley and basil, and since I'm into making space, I decided to pat the leaves down a bit so that we'll have room for the rest of our ingredients. And when it comes to the basil, you'll notice here that I'm working with a different variation. This is purple basil, and I'll talk more about that on the blog post. But here what we'll do is dump in some Parmigiano Reggiano by the handful, and here's a pro tip: adding the ingredients in layers will help get everything incorporated evenly. And what we'll do next is add in the pine nuts. And here's another idea: you could also choose to dry roast these in a pan or just dump them in like I did. And by now you can already see where we're going with this. I mean, after all, we are building flavor bombs. Next, we'll add in some freshly ground red pepper. And what this will do is cut through the richness of the cheese and olive oil. And here, I did something special. I added freshly grated pecorino cheese. And there's a good reason why I did this: to give it an added depth of flavor, of course. And after we're done adding all the ingredients in, we'll close the lid to our food processor. But before we give it a go, I was on a quest for a drizzle and came back with some olive oil. And now it was time to pulverize our pesto. Check it out! See? And it's important to remember, what you're going for here is a smooth paste as opposed to a coarse ground. So naturally, I let this go for about a minute or two, or to our desired consistency. Next, I took the top off and checked its consistency. By the looks of it, this was just about what I was going for here. So I scraped the sides using my spatula. It was at this point that I decided it was time to transfer the mixture to another container and let it sit for at least an hour or until the flavors come together. Through the miracle of time and the magic of video editing, I was able to take my trusty butter knife and begin spreading what tasted like the perfect pesto sauce onto some bread. Naturally, I couldn't help myself, so I went in for a taste. At first bite, I was greeted with fresh herbal notes of basil and parsley, combined with the savoriness of both Parmesan and pecorino cheeses, together with the nuttiness of the pine nuts, the richness provided by the extra virgin olive oil, not to mention the spiciness of the dry ground chilies, made for an extraordinary balance of flavors, paired well with mozzarella and tomatoes. So if you want to learn how to make a good pesto sauce or are looking to try something new by making pesto pasta salad, this is it. I almost forgot to mention this would taste great as a pasta sauce, and if you add some grilled chicken diced in cubes, you could call it chicken pesto pasta. So now that you've learned how to make a good pesto sauce the quick and easy way, you can dazzle your family and friends with this tasty Italian recipe that's healthy too. For ingredient amounts and more info, please visit chefnicko.com. Bon appetit, enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video recipe.